Well, hello gentlemen, how are you doing? Now I got a couple of non-news items here I thought you might be interested in. Of course you may not be interested in too. And as usual I'll put the links down below. I just want to point out I do like what you've done to your hair. Actually, some of the people listening to this haven't got any, but that still looks cool. Now, who was the first one to do it? Was it Yulbrenner? He just went complete bowling ball. At the moment, I've still got my hair. My faculties are a bit shot, but what do you expect, eh? Anyway, the first non-news item is... Man shares perks of dating a cougar, despite having a 22-year age gap. What, a real cougar? Four-legged one? Oi, that would be cool, dating one of them. No, I think it's a two-legged femon one. I believe she's 46 years old or something. And she'll have brick dust all over her from the wall for sure. Anyway, here's a picture of them, and I think, you see now, to me, they look kind of like brother and sister. But he says she's his soulmate. And everybody said it wouldn't last, but he's been dating her now for a year. But if you read between the lines, I believe they have a sort of a TikTok site or something. And a lot of people are paying attention to their relationship, and they're getting attention from it. That may be why it's going on a bit longer. And I can't think of too many advantages of going with somebody 22 years your senior, especially a femon. Other than she's thankful to have any man at all, she might be eager when it comes to you-know-what. And the good news is in the evenings when she nods off about 9 p.m, you can go out partying and go to clubs and shit. So I guess if it lasts, when he's 40, she'll be 62. And then when he's 50, she'll be 72. Yeah, that seems like nothing wrong with that. It'll work fine. So what do you guys out there think of the age gap? Do you think that's okay and nothing wrong with it? Well, to my mind, it never lasts. When I saw guys like that in Thailand going with a young filly, and it lasted long enough as his money lasted. When that ran out, so did she. But I would imagine that this young man who's 22 years old doesn't have a lot of experience in dating, because he should know the difference between a 46-year-old and a 22-year-old femon. There is a big difference. You see, femons are not built for the long haul, not like a man is. He can produce children way into his old age, and he can produce work as well into his old age. Femons, not so much. Some of them do burn very bright, but it's for a very short amount of time. Because nature, even though femons don't know why the femons are here, and their purpose. So I can't see this relationship lasting very long. And I've got to admit myself, when I was a younger man, I did go out with a couple of older women. Well, not that much older, but my purpose was, it was basically inquisitive thing. But because of society the way it is, it's okay for a femon to go out with a young boy almost, but it's not alright for a man to go out with a young girl. That all comes down to don't do what I do what I say, sort of thing. Femons have very big double standards, don't they? But as soon as this young man goes out with a younger woman for the first time, I think, and finds out what it's really like, if you know what I mean, he won't go back to that old 46-year-old, I'm sure. Well, never mind, darling, you had a quick ride, didn't you? Had a bit of a dream. It'll be over soon. Now here's another sort of anti-news item really, and I don't know whether to believe it. The world's strongest girl who lifted 320 pounds at age 15 is now unrecognizable as a traveler. Yeah, I'm not sure about 15 years old lifting 320 pounds, are you? But the push on this story, the twist on it is supposed to mean that, look, she looks like a princess, she looks so sweet, and yet she can do everything a man can do and better, even though she looks like a goddess. But apparently she did some weightlifting a few years later, and she came third and could only lift 240 pounds, which seems another odd thing to me. But she was disqualified anyway because they found drugs in her system. Whoa, what a surprise. This femon is from Russia, by the way. And now she's become an influencer, one of those YouTube people or whatever. And she just does poses with, say, guns or something, because she's tough as well. And although she's not a bad-looking femon, she's wasting her life what she's doing anyway. She's just posing for pictures. But she's a good thing to use in the media because she's fairly attractive and she's just like a man. No, she's better than a man. And don't forget, at only 15, she lifted 320 pounds. Bench lift. Yeah, I'd like to see that. And here is a kind of a sad story, really. This is about Adele, the singer. Now, many years ago, she had some reasonably good songs out there. I thought she was okay. And she was a little bit big, say, but that's who she was. And she was natural, though. She wasn't no Whitney Houston, but she could sing not bad. And her songs kinda had feeling. And she was married to some normal person, so when she became successful, that wouldn't do. He was far too normal for her. So she got divorced and went to Hollywood, and went through the Hollywood machine, and came out looking like they all do. Fake. But unfortunately, she's just cancelled her Las Vegas residency at the moment. Everybody was waiting for it. Some people have bought tickets and flown to Las Vegas already. So she kinda left it late to cancel everything. But she did. Oh, she's very apologetic about the whole thing. But to be honest, she doesn't actually need the money. At least she didn't wear any makeup when she apologized, I'll give her that. And she said it was all about COVID. I don't know whether to believe that or not. Because Adele isn't the same person as she was at all. It must be pretty hard going for poorer people to have saved the money up and gone to Las Vegas to see her, but she isn't going to be there. Obviously the tickets will be refunded, but the airfare won't be, I'm sure. For me, Adele has lost her magic, at least the little bit she had, the naturalness. Of course, that happened to another femme too, Catherine Zeta-Jones. She all went a bit hoity-toity too, didn't she? Of course, let's face it, it happens to them all. If they get some fame and some fortune, you are just peasants. The trouble is, femmes today, we are just peasants anyway, and they're only YouTube influencers. Anyway, thank you for listening to these stories, and let me know what you think of them. I'm just gonna go bench press about, I don't know, maybe 500 pounds. I'll do that with one arm. I might put another 500 on the other one. And I will be taking some drugs later. That'll be in the form of beer. So I'll probably be able to bench press about 800, I expect. Who knows? You take it easy, fellas.